you saw the press conference between the German Foreign Minister, the Iranian Foreign Minister. There was one mention there by Heiko Maas about the INSTEX, that it will be soon ready. Now, there's a lot of debate going on about whether this INSTEX, the machinery that will allow trade between European states and Iran, is even enough or effective enough. What is your take on that?
Well, it remains to be seen. Not all of the details about INSTEX have been published. Not all of it has come out yet. We're not sure how it's going to work. I mean, the basic problem is that in order for sanctions relief to work, in order for the Europeans to uphold their part of the bargain, it was in the nuclear deal, private companies, we're talking about Germany, France, the EU, we're talking about private companies that are not under government control. Maybe they're, big companies that are under government influence, but they have to answer to their shareholders, first of all. And they have to look at their profits. And, the bottom line is the U.S. is a, economic behemoth, and they have threatened to punish any company severely that does business with Iran. So it's a very tough dilemma. The Europeans could pass laws making it a crime to abide by U.S. extraterritorial sanctions. But, that's an extreme measure. Companies that are, huge companies like Total or BP and so on, ENI in Italy and so on. And so that's the dilemma of this whole issue. There's another issue that, Iran is not a very friendly environment for investors. It's a tough, and attractive.
So, sorry, I know, Mr. Borzou, you said that there isn't much clarity yet because the INSTEX and how it would work has not yet been floated publicly. But is there any understanding of if it does come into effect, as the German Foreign Minister said, that it will be ready soon and that they will financially help Iran? Do we have an idea how that would work without sort of stirring the ire of the U.S. for continuing to trade with Iran that they have sanctioned?
It's based on a bartering system whereby the Iranians would conduct transactions in their own currency, and the Europeans would conduct transactions in their own currencies, and then trade those trade products across that's in theory how it's supposed to work. The U.S. has said that they don't mind as long as it's being used for non-sanctioned goods, i.e. humanitarian goods, foodstuffs, medicine, and so on. If that's what it's going to be used for, that's fine. And anything that goes beyond that, they will punish the U.S.
But that doesn't leave much for Iran to operate on or rely on, since most of their exports are oil-based. Oil products and petrochemicals have again now recently been also sanctioned with new U.S. sanctions.
Yeah, I mean, it's crippling to the Iranian economy, and Iran knows that. But the dilemma is that who's going to buy Iranian oil? What company is going to risk the ire of the United States? The U.S. Justice Department has proven time again that it's willing to go after international companies, prevent them from doing business in the United States, the world's largest and most important market. If they do business before, they'll do it again.
So do you feel that this recent visit to Tehran of Heiko Maas coming and speaking to the foreign minister, they've talked about how important issues of the region, how trade has been discussed. Do you feel that this might be helpful in the current situation in de-escalating tensions? Do you expect much out of this?
I mean, I think it is helpful. I think diplomacy in this particular situation is always helpful. You also have the Japanese foreign minister coming to Iran. You have the Lebanese head of general security coming to Iran, all trying to cool things down, all trying to make diplomacy work. It's right after the Ramadan holidays, so this is a big, busy working week for everyone. But I'm not sure what good it will do because the Iranian economy is tanking. It's contracting rather rapidly, but not enough to really get them to move. It's not collapsing.